How'd that one feel yesterday, Bruins fans? How'd that feel? Can't tell me there isn't a level of concern at this point. I get it. A little banged up. But what was that? What kind of dog shit effort was that? I haven't been on the past few weeks. Probably a good thing. I'll be doing this show by myself. I don't even know if it's a full show. I don't even know. I just need to get this out there. Mike's in Florida. Nicole's in Florida. Good for them. Get the fuck out of this state. Get the fuck away from the Bruins. I don't know what to make of this team right now. I just feel like there seems to be some sort of stubbornness on the part of the whole organization. Pretty much from the top down. I thought it was complacentness. And maybe there's a little bit of that. But the way they came out yesterday, completely dead. A classic example of the Boston Bruins on a Sunday or Saturday matinee game at home. Dog shit effort. If there even was an effort. Embarrassing. Can't say that anyone was really engaged. I mean, Frederick tried to mix it up a little bit with Lemieux. Obviously getting that bit of a dirty hit. I don't exactly know. It looked a little worse because the door was being opened as Frederick went in. But I think the real problem was Lemieux in pregame crossing over to the Bruins end, which is kind of a big deal. And not to say that the Bruins won't react to certain things. They certainly showed that against the Capitals on the Tom Wilson hit. But they certainly weren't engaged. I can't say that they were at any point in the game. Pretty much from the opening minute of the game, the Rangers completely dominated them. Halak was the only player to show up. He made a few good saves in the first few minutes of the game. And there's nothing he could do. I'm just curious to what the mentality is, especially from Cassidy. Cassidy is one of these guys who came out and said, "Oh, this is an unacceptable performance." Really? Is it really unacceptable? Because you said that after the Islanders game when you got your ass kicked 7-2. You said that after the Rangers game where it was also like 6-2 or some shit like that. Coming out of Lake Tahoe, maybe that was a little bit more acceptable. They did have a little bit of an effort in those games, and it seems like they right the ship every other game. You know, you lose one to Washington, and you win one from Washington. You lose one to the Rangers, and you take one from the Rangers. I won't have any excuses for them losing to the Devils. You gotta get the puck in the net. And I think part of this issue that we have with this team, again, is the stubbornness. Zone entries in particular. They refuse to get the puck in deep. Which you have a lot of talented players, you know. On those zone entries, they can create a lot of special plays at times. But when shit isn't working for you, when it's just not your day, you would figure, how about you simplify the game a little bit? Simple breakouts, dump the puck in, lay a body on someone. Get engaged. They won't do it. Even the fourth line, which the fourth line's been one of the biggest disappointments of this season. Corrali's been completely lost. Wagner has not played up to the standard we've seen the past few seasons. Frederick has been pretty good. Probably the only guy I can say that about. So I don't know. I think it's seeped into their identity at this point. And for me, identity is a big thing because, as I said in their season preview, they're a one-trick pony. And they refuse to learn any more tricks. They really do. They don't want to. They're so set in their ways. And I mean this from the top down. From Mr. Burns over there in Buffalo, giving his marching orders to Charlie, who gives his marching orders to Cam, who is a good little boy and does what he's told. For as fired up as he can be, throwing the water bottle in the Stanley Cup final, getting all angry and pumped up. Anything the Jacobs say, he does. There wasn't much of a deviation from the sort of front office philosophy coming from Chiarelli to Sweeney, and I get that. You had a lot of success under Chiarelli. Chiarelli just made too many boneheaded signings. I can't say that Sweeney's been all that better. He hasn't re-signed guys to absurdly long contracts, but he has not really made the deal that he needs to make in order for this team to win. Maybe that's coming. Maybe that's upcoming. I don't know what you could even trade at this point. Who has value besides Jeremy Swayman, who is looking like the best goaltender prospect they've ever had right now. But he's untouchable. You don't know if Tuukka's coming back. I hope he does. I hope Tuukka does come back. I'm just baffled. Why do they continue to not give Krejci any help? Year after year after year, and I'm going to keep saying this, and it's like the defense wasn't the issue going into the season. It's pretty obvious that even after their little lapses after Lake Tahoe, when they were hurt and they were down to, and they had to bring in Tenorti, and Tenorti he's been decent. It's very frustrating. I feel like it's stubbornness. You bring in Andre Kasha, who has done nothing besides get hurt. And you went after him. As Sweeney said, I believe, the whole idea was he had an extra year on that contract when he traded for him. That's why he gave up so much for him, because he had the extra year. How's that working out so far? Richie's kind of cooled off a little bit. Not saying that he's not playing well. I don't know what you expect Richie to do on that second line as a second line winger. I don't know what you expect for him for the rest of the season. I don't know what you expect from Jake DeBrusk. I had high hopes for Jake DeBrusk. Obviously, he's been hurt earlier in the season. He had what looked to be his best game in their 4-0 win against the Rangers. And he was out yesterday because of the coffee cough or some shit like that. What are the moves? Because you are in a dangerous position right now. I know they have a few games in hand, but you could easily find yourself sitting outside of the playoffs. And honestly, hell ought to break loose if that happens. It ought to break loose. Efforts like this are beyond unacceptable. They're beyond. Any words that will come out of that locker room, they need to have a bit of a come to Jesus moment. As an organization, not just a team, not just the guys in the locker room. What do they want to do? Do you want to mire in mediocrity? Because that's what the Boston Bruins are, and it needs to change. You're going to be mediocre for 4 decades, and I don't know, maybe luck your way into winning a Stanley Cup. Not saying that their Stanley Cup championship was luck, but they were very fortunate to be in that position and to win that cup. Even with shifts in mentalities after the lockout, where Jacobs was spending to the cap, I can't say that this has been a team that has been dedicated to winning. I feel like this is a team that wants to look like they're dedicated to winning. Maybe I'm overreacting to this one game, but this is serious, a serious position they're in. They could easily fall out of the playoff spot. Easily. I think it's time for Sweeney to shit or get off the pot. You don't have many games left. Not a normal season. We've been over it a bazillion times. Look to what you can do. You have Phil Kessel sitting out there in Arizona, supposedly in the best shape of his life. Not that expensive. You have the cap room. Is it really going to take that much to pry a guy like that? Can have him play with David Krejci. Reunited. It's been a decade since they played together, but, you know. Do something a little interesting. I don't think Hall is someone that's on the table. I don't know about Philip Forsberg. I don't know what it's going to take to get him. Because Nashville certainly isn't going to take your defenseman. They don't need defensemen. They're fine. Maybe a Bobby Ryan. And I think maybe some depth guys, because fourth line hasn't been great. Third line hasn't been great. May look to trade DeBrusk. You need to shake it up. This has been stale and stagnant hockey. The perfection line, they're great. Great line. That's all you got. When you're losing games 1-0 to the New Jersey Devils, to some shitbag goaltender, you don't think to yourself, hey, when the first line doesn't have it going, maybe we need to do something. I think a trade should be coming soon. I really do. Significant moves have to be made in order for this team to make the playoffs. See, I don't care if they've beaten Philadelphia every time they played them. I don't care that they've lost against the Islanders every game they played them. Shit happens. You lose to the same team over and over again. But I will not accept their performances against the New Jersey Devils. I won't accept their performances, the one in Madison Square Garden against the Rangers in this latest in your own building, this latest game in your own building, where, I don't know, did you wake up late? You just drove to the rink, maybe a little hungover, just didn't give a fuck. And 2 points are gone. You're never going to get those 2 points again. And who knows? Those 2 points could be valuable when it comes to making the playoffs. See, it doesn't matter to me at what position they make the playoffs because they're going to have to beat good teams anyway. This is a tough-ass division. I understand that. There are good teams. The Islanders have righted the ship and are at the top of the division. The Capitals, I think they're better than, but they're still good. Pittsburgh is still good. Philadelphia is still good. And you're going to have to beat those teams. And you cannot be losing to New Jersey, the Rangers. You can be losing. But you can't be losing without any fucking effort. I don't know where they go from here. And I've been saying that. You're going to get guys back healthy. Good. But I think there needs to be a mix-up here. Some guys need to be shipped out. Some guys need to come in. The composition needs to be changed. The standard needs to go up just a little bit more. Very, very disappointed in that showing by the Bruins. Can't have it. Can't have it. I don't think it's acceptable in an 82-game season, let alone a 56-game season when you're playing all the same teams. Embarrassing. They should be embarrassed. That's all I have for you today. Just a short, sweet video. I just want to vent my frustrations, and I'm sure you're frustrated too. We'll see what it looks like tomorrow night. I need playoff hockey. So, very invested in even off games like this. I need playoff hockey. I need Boston Bruins playoff hockey, and I know you need it too. So, we need to be on them a little bit. There needs to be a higher standard. And they need to be not so fucking stubborn. All right. I've been Chuck Miller. This is the Cult of Meth Bear.